striker Fotis Ioannidis, and you have a Sporting side heavily relying on their squad depth and the lethal finishing of their 24-goal top scorer, Luis Suarez. Facing them as a Tondela side, staring directly into the abyss, the Ari Verdes sit 17th in the table, second from bottom with a meagre 21 points. They arrive in the capital winless in 7 consecutive matches. 36-year-old manager Gonçalo Feio was brought in as a late-season saviour on March 29th, but he's still searching for his first victory after 4 matches in charge. Their core issue all year has been a startlingly leaky defence. They've conceded an abysmal 50 goals in 30 matches, managing a clean sheet in only 6% of their fixtures. To make matters worse, they too are battling absences. Crucial fullback Thiago Manso is missing tonight through suspension, while forward Rodrigo Conceição remains out with a long-term knee injury. Tondela knows they will not see much of the ball, Sporting average over 61% possession. So their entire night will be about defensive discipline, suffering without the ball and hoping to snatch a goal on the counter. Which brings us to the man in the middle, who might just be the most important figure on the pitch tonight, referee Fabio Jose Costa Verissimo. If Tondela's game plan is to come here and aggressively disrupt Sporting's rhythm with a physical bruising mid-block, they'll be playing with fire. Verissimo is one of Portugal's most experienced officials, but is notoriously strict and completely unforgiving of tactical fouls. He comes into this match averaging a staggering 5.76 cards per game. He demands absolute authority and will not hesitate to go to his pocket early to establish control. For a Tondela defence that is already lacking confidence and missing their suspended fullback, treading the disciplinary tightrope against the blistering pace of Jenny Catamau and the trickery of Francisco Trincao could prove fatal. Tondela's midfield enforcers must be incredibly precise in their tackles today. If Verissimo decides to snap his authority on this game early, Tondela could easily find themselves a man down against the most shot-happy team in the league. So let's look at the 2 team sheets, starting with the host. Roy Borges has set up Sporting in their familiar 4-2-3-1 shape, but he's heavily rotated his squad, making exactly 5 changes from the recent 1-1 draw against ABS. In goal, the veteran Roy Silva keeps his place. The defence sees 2 changes. Eduardo Quaresma comes in for Ousmane Diomande at centre-back. Quaresma, of course, spent a season on loan at Tondela and will be eager to impress against his former employers tonight. He partners Zeno de Bast, flanked by the Greek international Georgios Vagianidis on the right and Maxi Arajo, who replaces Ricardo Mangas on the left. In the double pivot, Daniel Bragança steps in for Georgi Kocharavashvili. Bragança has been a revelation this term, dictating the tempo and chipping in with 5 league goals from midfield. He partners the ever-reliable Japanese international Hidemasa Morita. Ahead of them is a terrifying attacking trio. Jenny Catamo comes into the starting 11 in place of Francisco Trincao on the right. He joins the 18-year-old wonder kid Giovanni Quenda, whose market value has skyrocketed this season, and the talismanic Pedro Pote Gonçalves, who already boasts 13 goals and 6 assists in the league. Leading the line is the final change, as the competition's top scorer Luis Suarez returns to the starting 11, replacing young Rafael Nel. The Colombian has been utterly lethal, bagging 24 league goals in just 28 appearances so far this season. It must be noted that Sporting are fighting that massive injury crisis, don't forget, hence so many changes. Over to the visitors, Tondela manager Gonçalo Feio has matched Borges with 5 changes of his own, setting up his desperate side in a 4-3-3 formation. Between the sticks is the 23-year-old academy product Bernardo Fontes, who has been one of the bright spots in a difficult season for the Audi Verdes. The back 4 sees 2 changes. Christian Marquez steps in at centre-back to replace Brian Medina, partnering João Silva. On the flanks, we have a massive pre-match surprise. Despite reports suggesting that they were out with the suspension and knee injury respectively, Thiago Manso and Rodrigo Conceição both make miraculous returns to the starting 11 tonight. In midfield, Feio has completely revamped his engine room. Irish midfielder Joe Hodge drops to the bench, replaced by the combative South African Yaya Sithole. He is joined by the veteran Helder Tavares, who comes in for Hugo Felix, and the 20-year-old Ecuadorian loanee Juanse, who retains his spot. Up front, Tondela's top scorer Pedro Maranhão returns to the starting 11 in place of Arjun van der Heide. Maranhão has 6 goals this season and provides their best outlet on the counter-attack. He forms a front three alongside the experienced Ronnie Lopez and the 23-year-old winger Mujatovic. Tondela are missing midfielder Xabi Huarte to injury tonight, and notably their target man striker Jordan Pefok is completely absent from the matchday squad. So they are your two starting 11s, two heavily altered sides for two very different reasons. Let's get down to the pitch for kickoff. And looking down, I can see that the Verissimo is just going through the toss of the coin with the two captains, Tavares and Ran are the two captains tonight. It's a night of high stakes, high tension, and historic implications. Will the Lions close the gap at the top, or will Tondela pull off the shock of the season to continue their fight for survival? Go and grab your drinks, settle in. Kickoff is just moments away here in Lisbon. So just to remind you what's happening at the top of Liga Portugal this season, it's an unforgiving three-way title race at the summit, chaotic battle for survival at the bottom. Porto still top, 82 points, built on Francesco Farioli's incredibly mean defence, leaked only 15 goals this season. Benfica are second on 75 points, still unbeaten in the league, while Sporting hold on to third on 72 points with a game in hand and a better goal difference. If they win tonight, they will jump back into second place. And of course, Sporting are attempting to win back-to-back league titles for the first time in 70 years. Their 2-1 derby defeat to Benfica was a massive blow. And down at the bottom, newly promoted Tondela have 17th with 21 points, and AVS below them, 18th and already relegated on 14 points. Tondela have only managed 4 wins all season, conceded 50 goals as we said, but are only 5 points away with a game in hand from the playoff spot. So it's going to be Tondela kicking off this game, going from left to right here. And they're in their dark strip today, Tondela, with sporting their famous green and white hoops with white shorts and white socks. The stadium doesn't look completely full as the ball breaks early for Tondela in the penalty area, and they've it's a mistake from the keeper. Roy Silva's given it straight to Mujatovic, who's unable to take complete advantage, and Sporting have not woken up at all here at the start of the game. Sloppiness at the back led to Ronnie Lopez having a half chance. The ball broke to Mujatovic, and Roy Silva then made a sloppy attempt at a pass, and it was chaos. Eventually the offside flag has gone up, Verissimo putting his arm up for offside, but that is not a good start by Sporting at all. And Tondela come forward again, and Roy Silva has to be quickly to the edge of his box to get that cleaned up. Ball goes out to Maxi Araujo, and now Debas gets the opportunity to try and build something from the back, flicked on by Vagianidis, and that goes out to Katamo, who races down the right, plays it in to Pedro Gonçalves. Goalkeeper is way out of his penalty area. This is car crash football from both teams in the first 90 seconds of this game. Bernardo goes racing out of his goal. Pedro Gonçalves just touches it around him. He's right on the byline, pulls it back, and in the end João Silva was able to clear for Tondela. But incredible start from both teams, almost if either team were determined to concede in the first 2 minutes. And forward comes Quenda into the box now. He's got a chance to get a shot away, and his shot goes just wide of the far post. Again, simple ball from midfield. Bragança just lifted it in. Quenda's probably offside if this had gone in. I think VAR would have ruled it out, but he raced into the box, and he's only missed by millimetres. Just seeing back, a good bit of defending by Six-Hole moments before, as Pedro Gonçalves went round the goalkeeper, who was so far out of his goal, it was crazy. So, dramatic start to this Liga Portugal game this evening. It's a nice evening here in Lisbon. It's about 16 degrees in the minute, just a light breeze going from across the pitch from right to left as I look down on the green grass. And Tondela with Marquez bring the ball out of their penalty area. Nice little ball there to Tavares. Tavares starts to move forward, takes a little touch, comes back, gives it to Manso. Manso looks up and plays central to Marquez. Marquez thinks about playing forward and changes his mind, gives it back to Tavares. Tavares drops it in short to Moranjo. Moranjo helps it round the corner and he tries to play through the thirds now. That's a nice ball to Juanse. Juanse just moves it out left quickly to Conceição. Conceição down the line to Mujovic. Mujovic plays infield. And Juanse keeps trying to come forward, drops it back out again to Sitol. Sitol plays a 1-2 with Tavares. And nice little spell of possession here for Tondela. Nearly 4 minutes gone. First time they've really got their foot on the ball and kept possession for a period of time. And now they give it away. That's a lucky bounce off the heel of Luis Suarez. Goes back into Marquez. He's able to start again just near the halfway line. Little ball into Tavares. Good turn by Tavares. He touches it off to the right and then moves it all the way out to the right wing where Moranjo, the Brazilian, gets on the ball. Plays back to Thiago Manso. Manso back down the line to Moranjo, but that runs out for a throw-in to Sporting. And Maxi Araujo will retrieve the ball, look forward and get the game restarted. Plays it back to Roy Silva, left-footed, plays it into midfield. It's a nice touchdown by Bragança. Bragança gets it out to the right-hand side and Catamo gets a chance to run at Conceição. The Tondela left back and he stands up to the task well, puts the ball out for a throw-in. And Bragança immediately looking to dictate terms in the middle of the pitch there, tonight's captain. Bragança, he's got 5 goals, no assists actually from midfield. Surprised me looking at his range of passing in the first few minutes of this game, but 5 league goals for the 26-year-old, and he's been a bit of a revelation for Sporting this season. De Bast plays it over to the right-hand side and picks out Vagiandis, and he moves it out to Catamo. Catamo gets inside. That's a nice little ball again to Morita. Morita starts to move through, plays a 1-2 with Suarez, gets it out to the side and Catamo comes in, shoots left-footed, lifts it up and over the crossbar. Nice little ball from Pedro Gonçalves there into Catamo. Catamo just dropped the shoulder, came inside on that left foot, looked to bend it top corner but high over the crossbar. So Bernardo looks like he's going to take this goal kick long, so I don't think we'll see Tondela trying to play out from the back too often tonight. Moves his defence up towards the halfway line. Dressed all in red. Steps up to the ball. Launches it forward left-footed. It's gone high into the night sky. Good initial jump there by De Bast to win the first header. Bounces around in midfield. Touchdown to Catamo. Catamo plays it back to Quaresma, and Sporting just go back to Roy Silva in no real rush to move forwards yet. Ronnie Lopez looks to put a bit of pressure on, and Sporting play through the press and have it in the left-back area with Maxi Araujo. He's been put under a bit of pressure though, and Tavares has picked it up in midfield nicely. Plays infield to Sitol. Sitol calmly just goes back to Marquez, and Marquez is in no rush to go forwards either. Sitol just round the corner to his captain, Tavares. Tavares rolls it under his studs. Nice little turn to get away from the youngster Quenda. It goes back to Marquez. João Silva over to the left-hand side. But the ball runs out of play, and that'll be a throw-in to Sporting. Quaresma just slowly brings the ball up towards the centre circle. He's got Bianchinides to his right, just plays it into Morita, gets it back again, then goes out to the Greek fullback. Vagianadis plays it down the line, and ball comes inside to Morita. Morita gives it back again to Catamo. Catamo, nice little bit of interlinking here again from Morita. Bragança, nice little ball in as well. Here comes Luis Suarez to the right of the area, gives it out to the right hand side of Catamo. Catamo goes back to the feet of Bragança. He just tried to thread it through to the on-rushing Catamo, but just runs out for a goal kick. You can see what Sporting were trying to do here. Nice little link up on the edge of the area, but the timing of the run and the pass weren't in sync. And Braganza just holds his hand out by way of apology to Katamo. Not quite on the same wavelength as the Mozambique international. His 110th game for Sporting today for Katamo. 18 goals in that time. Won the league with them last season, of course. And academy player came in 2019 and great pace, very important to Borges and his system. Sporting just building up deep inside the Tondela half. Nice little ball from Katamo into midfield. Braganza just loses out. That's well won, and Hoanse is able to bring the ball forward now. Gets it out to the left, and Mud Jatovic loses out. Ball falls to the right hand side, and Katamo has it in midfield once again. Just plays it back to Braganza. Braganza infield to Rurita. Move the ball over to the left hand side, and De Bas steps into the opponent's half. Quenda's wide, gets it, gives it back to the central defender, the Belgian, 22 years old, another one of the bright prospects for Belgium as they look to replace the golden generation. Down the line comes Vagianidis. Patient here again from Sporting, just keeping the ball in the midfield area. Good little rotations, good little passing, but Tondela holding a disciplined shape here, and Sporting not able to go through the middle, so they're trying to work down the right hand side at the minute. Vagianidis gets it back again. Little ball into the captain, Braganza. Braganza gives it to Zabas. Zabas just at the top of the centre circle, goes left to Araco. Now a direct ball, looking for the run behind by Katamo. He brings it down nicely, plays it back towards Luis Suarez, but desperate defending from Tondela, and they're able just to get the ball out of the penalty area. They're giving it away again. Katamo slides in. He only drops the ball to Mujatovic, and away come Tondela down the left-hand side. Conceição, the left-back, trying to stride forward. Vagianidis trying to hold him up, and as he brought the full-back down, the referee says no. Verismo waves both hands to the floor, says no free kick, and Sporting slowly move it out from the back line once again. Maxi Arajo on the left-hand side to Quenda. Quenda, little touch, goes back in field to Morita. Morita, diagonal pass out to the right. Brought down nicely on the left boot of Katamo. Katamo steps into the area, cuts onto his left foot, looks to beat his man again. Unable to do so. Conceição holding him up well. Katamo gets the shot, and in the end it's fairly tame, fairly weak. Just goes out for the goal kick. And credit to Conceição, they just stood his ground, made it difficult for Katamo to get the kind of angle he was looking for a clean strike. All this happened in line with the 6-yard box, and Conceição just kept standing his ground. In the end, Katamo came in and then impatiently just swung his left foot at the ball, and it all came to an end. Wonderful ball from the back from Zabas. Great ball playing ability from the Belgian defender. It was a great diagonal from the left-hand side of the centre circle out to the right-hand side of the penalty area as Sporting attacked. And I think that's how Sporting will look to get behind the defence of Tondela in this game. Just patiently keep it in midfield for a little bit, then step the pace up with a more direct pass, try and rely on the pace of Quenda and Katamo down the sides. Speaking of which, Quenda now has it on the halfway line, left-footed, looks to lift it towards Pedro Gonzalez, breaks down, falls to Katamo. Katamo touches it back to Quaresma. Quaresma, quick little ball into Morita, the Japanese, moves it out to the left, and Maxi Arajo, Uruguayan, down to the Portuguese superstar, the youngster Quenda, on his way to Chelsea in the summer, we believe. Sporting coming through the thirds, and oh, that's a nice attempted through by Gonzalez. Gonzalez just trying to put it through. Bernardo quickly off his line, comes out, claims the ball at the edge of the penalty area. Now they do try and play out from the back. Thiago Manso in the right back area. That's foolish from Tondela. They've just given the ball straight back to Sporting in their own half. Ball breaks to the left. In comes Luis Suarez looking to get away. Good defending by João Silva. Not away yet though. It's going to fall to Suarez again. He tries to hook it towards goal. Cleared away by Marquez. Back in again by Katamo. Gonçalves tries to get in there, and it's a corner to Sporting. Thiago Manso just covering in from right back, puts that behind for the first corner of the game. So it's going to be a corner from the far hand side, the right hand side, as Sporting attack. Just seeing back. Bernardo racing off his line to clear something that was becoming a problem, and we're just waiting for this corner to be taken. Luis Suarez trying to find space in the box of the Colombian. In comes the corner, headed away at the near post by Sitthole. Breaks out as far as Conceição. He moves the ball left. Little touch by Catamau. Keeps it moving, and now he starts to run forward. Has he been clipped on his ankle? He thinks so. Referee says no. Helder Tavares has the ball. Gives it to Sitthole. Sitthole plays it back to João Silva, and they're not putting the ball out here, Tondela. Move the ball to the right, and Thiago Manso, but it's all being done at walking pace. I think everyone's just expecting the referee to now stop the play, which he has done. Verissimo goes to get the ball. It's going to be a non-contested drop ball. They're not coming on to treat Catamau at this stage, and the referee's ready to get going again. Oh, there wasn't a foul, but as he just landed when trying to turn with his low centre of gravity, he did just twist his ankle. Oh, I've just seen it back on the monitor again. That is a nasty ankle twist. He's put all his weight down and his ankle's just bent. He seems to be up and hobbling around. If he's got away with that with no real injury, he's very lucky indeed, because that looked nasty. His foot just got caught in the studs, and all his weight went through that left ankle and it bent beneath him. But Catamau has been very involved in the first few minutes of this game. We're nearly 15 minutes gone. He's still on the pitch and beginning to get treatment. Maranhão's just gone down on the halfway line. Seemed to clash with Maxi Araujo. Ball is still in play. Maranhão's gone down holding his stomach. The referee's now stopped the game. Verissimo very much cutting the jib of a referee who doesn't enjoy seeing the game disrupted like it's been in the last few minutes. Get the feeling he likes to keep the game moving forwards, unless of course, I mean, he's given out a fair few cards per game this season. 5.76 I think the figure was that we quoted before the game kicked off. And now he's charging over to the left hand side of the pitch as Zebast is having words with one of the Sporting players, and again it looks like, I was just seeing it back, what happened, Maxi Araujo clashing with Maranhão. Don't think Tondela loved that, but we're back underway again. Ball goes out to the right hand side, and Vagianidis loses out though. Good work by Mujatovic on the left, and now Fabio Conceição. So Maxi Araujo is down in the penalty area. Something has happened off the ball there for sure. Helder Tavares is looking like the innocent party. The referee's having a word with the Tondela captain. Let's just see if we can see what happened here again. I think it's Zebast actually. No, it's Zebast who's being kicked. Okay, so yeah, Maranhão has then flicked his leg out whilst running away from Zebast, having put him under pressure. Zebast has thought about it for about 2 seconds, then fallen to the floor. And Maranhão has been booked as a result. One of those ones where I think VAR could have had a stronger look at, but they decided not to. I think the referee saw enough of it to give the yellow card, and of course VAR won't get involved for that in that situation. Nice little ball by Tondela into Juanse. Juanse goes out to the left hand side, and in comes the cross. Rui Silva comes and claims it at the edge of his penalty area. Comes a long way out to get that, Rui Silva, the 32-year-old, number 2 goalkeeper in the Portuguese national team. Good big kick forwards, comes to be brought down by João Silva. He rolls it into the South African Sitthole. Rolls it out to the left to Marquez. Marquez keeps possession, just turns, goes back across to João Silva. João Silva plays forward, cut out by Maxi Araujo. Clears upfield looking for Luis Suarez, but good defensive work again there by João Silva, who started the game pretty impressively. João Silva, he's getting into the mind of Luis Suarez already, who's talking to the refs incessantly each time the ball goes forward. João Silva not frightened to be physical with the Colombian. 24 goals this season in the league for Luis Suarez, top scorer in the division. Ball goes back to Quaresma on the halfway line. 18 minutes gone here, Sporting 0, Tondela 0. Quaresma goes out to the right again. Vagianidis comes inside, plays it across to Morita. He keeps it moving by going back to Quaresma. Quaresma takes a few steps over to his left before releasing it to Debast. Debast into Quenda, who's come deep to get on the ball. Maxi Araujo higher up the pitch than Quenda. Quenda's still out on the left-hand side. Gets it clipped out to him by Roy Silva in the left-back position now. Takes a touch inside, starts to dribble forwards. Good play here by Quenda. Keeps possession, tries to play it down the line, cut out by Helder Tavares. Quenda goes to ground. There's going to be another yellow card coming out from Verismo. This is what we said at the start of the game. If Tondela come trying to be overly physical and disruptive, and that was a poor tackle there by Ronnie Lopez, centre forward tackle if I ever saw one. Caught Quenda right on the ankle. Right decision by Verismo to give him the yellow card. Well, if that's the way they're going to play this, they've got a referee who's going to be more than happy to keep showing them the cards. But it's working at the moment because it is still 0-0 here, and can't really say Sporting have dominated at all. There's a foul in the back on Moranjo, and he goes rolling to the ground once again. He's back on his feet. No yellow card this time. That was Morita just coming in, trying to pinch the ball and cracking into the back of Moranjo. Approaching 20 minutes gone here, and Sporting have had 65% of the ball. They've not done anything with it yet. Only 2 shots, 1 on target, 15 attacks in this first period. Tondela have kept a good shape and kept Sporting away from truly testing Bernardo today. Morita, a little touch back to Vagianidis. Vagianidis gives it into Quaresma, who has to turn and get away from the pressure of Mujatovic. And now they come through the thirds. Katamo has the ball, steps forward, nice little ball to the left. Touched over one more to Quenda. Quenda gets into the penalty area, being held up by Thiago Manso. Turns, goes back towards the area again, pulls it in beautifully to Luis Suarez, who takes a touch, strikes. In fact, it was Araujo who got into the penalty area there from left back. Took a good touch with his right foot, hit it on the half volley, good contact with the ball, and Bernardo is called into his first real save of the game in the 21st minute. Corner to Sporting, taken short, rolled to the edge of the box. Debast tries to thread it back in again, but that's well cut out by João Silva. Cleared upfield, and Debast retreats to the halfway line and starts it all again for Sporting. Looks for movement in front of him, touches it to his left, and Morita rolls it under his studs, goes back to Debast. He's got Quaresma to his right, so he rolls it to his central defensive partner. Down the line to Vagianidis. He comes forward, tries to go past his man, but that's good cover again by Conceição. Conceição's been called on a couple of times already just to be steady at the back, and he's done that very well indeed. Right hand side again for Vagianidis, tries to get it in towards Katamo, but that's broken down for Sporting. But they have got a corner out of it. Conceição puts the tackle in, comes off him the second time, goes out for the corner kick, far hand side, right hand side for Sporting as they attack. Luis Suarez just pulls to the far side of the 6-yard box, corner taken short again, rolled across to Katamo. Katamo floats it into the box. Luis Suarez makes that run to the far post, ball just evades him. Bernardo watches it go behind. Almost the perfect ball from Katamo. Got a nice angle, swung it into the far post with a bit of pace. Just too much pace for the Colombian to get his head to the ball. Tondela this time trying to play out from the back. Six holes, just giving it straight to Quenda. Quenda, that's a nice bit of cover by Helder Tavares. Sorted out the problem that was of Tondela's own making there. Twice they've tried to play out from the back from these goal kicks. Twice they've given it to Sporting in different dangerous positions. They need to go back to getting it forward, I think. Maxi Araujo plays back to Roy Silva. Roy Silva takes a touch right by his goal line in the middle of his goal, clips it out to the right hand side. Vagianidis plays it down to Katamo. Katamo brings it down nicely. Good little ball inside. Morita releases Vagianidis, who kept running down the right hand side. Looks up for the cross, pulls it back across to Suarez. Suarez takes a touch, gets into the box. Well defended by Marquez, and he just stepped across, got his body between man and ball. Took a kick in the back from Luis Suarez as he was looking to pull the trigger. Goes to ground, gets the free kick. Excellent defending that time by Tondela. They've defended their box pretty well so far. And they can be pleased with the work that they have been doing to keep this at 0-0. This time they are going to be sensible. They're not going to play short with this free kick from their penalty area. They launch it upfield. Bragança doesn't win it in the air. Header back towards Roy Silva. That's going to go out for a corner, I think. Yeah, it's a corner to Tondela. Their first corner of the game. I think it was Quaresma trying to head it back to Roy Silva, but didn't get it anywhere near the goalkeeper. It just runs out for a corner, which they've taken short. Mudacevic plays back. Different angle this time for Juanse to curl it into the box. Flicked on by Ronnie Lopez. I think it's come off De Bass last. It's going to be another corner to Tondela from the other side. Yes, a good jump by De Bass. Just got there ahead of João Silva. Takes it out for another corner. Rui Borges in deep conversation with a couple of his assistants there. He can't be too pleased with what Sporting have brought to the table so far, especially given that surprising 1-1 draw with already relegated AVS at the weekend. Sporting need to win here to go back into second place. They also had that Derby Day defeat to Benfica. In comes the corner, left-footed. Roy Silva's made a bit of a mess of that. I think he was hoping he was going to get a free kick from the referee, but no, not given. Tondela retrieve on the left-hand side. Sitthole goes back in, plays it back to João Silva. João Silva clips it out to the right-hand side. Flicked on by Maranhão, but that just goes out for a goal kick for Roy Silva to go and retrieve the ball. Top goal scorer for Tondela this season with 6 goals, Maranhão. He's on the ball again in the penalty area. That's poor from Sporting. And another corner from Tondela. Sporting are being sloppy here. They tried to play out from the back and they did it about as convincingly as Tondela did it a few moments ago. Gave the ball back to the Brazilian Maranhão and he wins the corner, which he goes out to take from this near-hand side, the right-hand side. Number 7, right-footed. Looks for the movement in the box. Verissimo, the referee, again getting involved, just telling the players not to keep bashing into each other before the kick is even taken. Seems to be a bit of niggle between the two teams here, Tondela and Sporting. In comes the corner and offside given, of all things. Tondela's trying to be clever with that set-piece routine. And when they knocked it back to Maranhão down the side, Sporting had already moved out and he was offside. Roy Silva has the ball on the penalty spot. Just knocks it to his left as De Bass. De Bass out to Maxi Araujo. He plays forward, one in the midfield by Sitthole. Sitthole gets it back again from Ronnie Lopez and keeps possession, gives it to Helder Tavares. Tavares goes backwards, gives it to Marquez. Marquez back into the middle where Juanse plays forward. That's a nice ball to the overlapping runner Thiago Manso, and De Bass comes out from the middle, just plays it out for a throw-in on this right-hand side for Tondela. Manso goes to get the ball, he's going to take it. Looks like a foul throw, but the referee's going to let that one go. Tavares inside to Sitthole. Sitthole plays it back in, and Tavares gets it once again, plays backwards to Marquez. All this happening inside the Sporting penalty area. João Silva goes over to the left, and Marquez on the halfway line. Mudacevic goes back once more to Marquez, and they've gone from having the ball deep inside the Sporting half all the way back to Bernardo in his own 6-yard box. He clips it right-footed forwards, helped on by Ronnie Lopez, brought down by Mudacevic, and he's able to run at the Sporting defence here, looking for support, spins, keeps it under control. Has he been fouled there? Yes, he has. It's been slowed down unfairly by Bragança, and he's lucky not to go in the book there, Bragança, I think. I mean, Verissimo he's known for not liking those tactical type fouls, and that's exactly what one of those was. Mujatovic on the right-hand side now, tries to go past Maxi Araujo, loses out to the Uruguayan. Oh, and that's a late tackle that comes flying in. Maxi Araujo hits the deck. Don't think the referee's going to take it any further, though. See what happened here again. Good tackle by Maxi Araujo. Read the ball well. And then flying in comes Thiago Manso. I mean, that's a yellow card all day long for me, but the referee said no. And Sporting come down the right-hand side with Catamo, who's not had the chance to run at the box for a few minutes now, and goes at Conceição, and he steps across, does his job once again. Corner kick to Sporting on the far-hand side, the right-hand side. We're in the 29th minute here. Still 0-0, Sporting 0, Tondela 0. There's a Sporting player down inside the penalty area. Just trying to see who it is, but at the moment the referee is bent over him, so I can't see the number. I think it might be Luis Suarez. Don't know what's happened there for the top scorer to be on the deck. As he ran into the box, had a bit of a clash with, I think it's Sitol, right in front of the referee. I was with Helder Tavares, who's just pushed him away, and Luis Suarez has gone down holding his face, and I can tell you officially that Helder Tavares was nowhere near Luis Suarez's face, and the referee was very close proximity to see the truth in that matter. I'm not surprised that's booked Luis Suarez for absolute simulation there, but there we go. Ball's back in play in the centre circle for Sporting. Touch the left and De Bast. Morita gives it back to De Bast. Now he's out towards the left-hand side. Little ball back to Maxi Araujo, slightly inverted at the moment. Good ball in again to Morita. Touches it out to the left to De Bast rolls it all the way back into the centre circle, and Quaresma gets it out to the right, and Catamau slightly infield. Now he gets the ball again out on the sidelines, but gives it away. Well read again by Sitol. Sitol loses out. Catamo on the right wing, just tries to jink past his man, plays it up and off Mujatovic, and that is a throw into Sporting. The game's just gone a little bit dead, in all honesty. It's become a little bit turgid, neither team moving the ball with any real energy or pace, and equally the pressing isn't too frenetic. Both teams just dropping into a medium to low block when out of possession, and it's all just got a little bit stale. Vagianidis plays it infield. Morita tries to help it round the corner, cut out by Juanse. Tavares clips it down the left-hand side, looking for Conceição to try and get away, but that runs out for a throw-in as well. And these passes are just going astray. They're not finding their man. And we're not seeing any real controlled possession moves from either side at the moment. De Bast plays it back to Quaresma out to the right-hand side. Vagianidis comes in field with the ball. Inverts from that right back position again. Goes past two, gets it out to Catamo on the right. He tries to play it back round the angle for Vagianidis. Gets it back again, Catamo. He comes in on his left foot. Slips this one through to Gonçalves. Good save from Bernardo. Gonçalves hit it first time. Blocked away by the goalkeeper. Called into action once again. And then Juanse goes flying in and brings down Vagianidis on that right-hand touchline, but referee, I think he's decided he's not going to give any more yellow cards for the time being. I'm just seeing that chance for Luis Suarez again. Catamo just played it around the corner. Luis Suarez pulled away to the right-hand side of the box. Shot. Good save but by Bernardo. Got his right wrist out in time. Deflected the ball down. And it's Mujatovic who went flying into Vagianidis, but didn't book it. Didn't get a booking for it. Now Verismo's running into the penalty area, just trying to make sure there's nothing untoward going on in there as well. In comes the free kick. Goes right under the crossbar. Bernardo, the Brazilian, claims it comfortably enough. Collapses to the floor in his 6-yard box. 6'5", the goalkeeper. Only 23 years old. Been quite impressive this season for Tondela, and no doubt I think some other teams in Portugal will be keeping an eye on him if Tondela do go down. Morita plays back, moves the ball out to the left to Maxi Araujo. Sporting starting again on the halfway line. Morita gets it once more, plays short to the captain Bragança. Gives it back to the Japanese international. Out to the left, and Quenda, who's been quite quiet for the last few minutes. Quenda gives it to Maxi Araujo. He tries to dribble forward. It breaks down into midfield. Little touch on by Morita, given away. Joanse does well. Turns in midfield, gives the ball away again. And is that a free kick? No, the referee says play on. Chip towards Luis Suarez, who's in, hits it on the angle, left-footed first time, pulls it nowhere near the goal that time, on his weaker side. It was a good run again from Luis Suarez. Just saw the breakdown in midfield unfolding, realised that the referee wasn't going to give the free kick, made the run in between João Silva and Marquez. Angle was too tight and he tried to snatch at it, really. Tried to take it early on his left foot, but didn't get a clean enough contact. Ball was just running away from him and he was unable to wrap his left foot around the ball in the way that he wanted. A couple of half chances for Luis Suarez, though. Forward come Tondela down the right-hand side, breaks down. Morita getting into the thick of the action a lot here. Morita gets it left to Maxi Araujo. He plays a dangerous ball across the field, and fortunately for him, Pedro Gonzalez was reading it and headed it back down to the defence, and they've moved the ball down the right-hand side with Vagianidis. Vagianidis takes it a long way now, touches it right to Catamo. Catamo plays a 1-2 with the right back, gets it back onto his left foot, looks for movement, tries to whip it across to Quenda, headed away by Sithole. Tavares battles around in midfield. Sithole clears forward, and Quaresma just dangles the right foot out to bring that ball under control, just inside his own half. Tavares drops back into position, almost playing as a third centre-back when they lose the ball at the moment. Tavares dropping very, very deep. I think he's worried about the runs coming from midfield. Quenda, left-hand side, back inside to Braganza. Morita plays it on Braganza, back to Morita. Infield to Pedro Gonzalez. Gonzalez, good ball in again to Morita. Morita tries to chip one in, but no movement that time from Braganza. Just held his run rather than going in for the ball. It was a nice idea, didn't quite work out. Goal kick to Tondela as Jenny Catamo just closes down the clearance. This game really hasn't got into life yet. I was hoping to see more from the 18-year-old winger Giovanni Quenda in this first half. As I say, he's off to Chelsea in the summer, we believe, but hasn't really had enough ball to do a great deal with it yet. Luis Suarez has been the deadliest man in Portugal so far, but he's only had a couple of half-sighters of goal and not been able to do a great deal with either of those yet. Catamo gets it on the left-hand side once more. Plays infield, nice little ball into Luis Suarez, but good work again by Sithole. Tell you what, Sithole's done a really good job in there, just sitting in front of that back four, protecting it, getting the little toe in every so often and disrupting the rhythm of Sporting. Tondela trying to play out down the left-hand side, and Mujatovic just hit the deck. He's been fouled by Quaresma. Quaresma just helping his opponent to his feet. Quaresma, of course, was on loan with Tondela in the 2021-22 season. Now very much looking to establish himself in the Sporting lineup. João Silva plays forward down the right-hand side. This come off Morita, was that ball already out? No, it's a throw into Tondela. 37th minute here, still Sporting 0, Tondela 0. No Trincao on the field yet for Sporting. He's on the bench, Francisco Trincao. I get the feeling we might need his creativity at some point in the second half. Maranhão puts DeBast under pressure. DeBast plays back to Roy Silva. Roy Silva, slightly dodgy looking ball into midfield that Catamo's done well to get. He plays it back to Braganza. Braganza gets it out to Maxi Araujo. Now Sporting can come forward. They've got a bit of space now in midfield. Morita on the ball, threads it to the left and picks out nobody. Goes in between Luis Suarez and Quenda, and that's poor for Sporting. Catamo has it again, goes out to the right back who's high up the field for Vagianidis. Good defending from Conceição, just gets in the way, gets the foul. more good work from the Tondela left back. He's lost his boots in the process. Oh no, in fact it wasn't Conceição's boot, it's Vagianidis' boot. They're wearing the same boots in fairness and look to be a similar size, so easy mistake to make, and Vagianidis just walks back. Must be like walking on carpet, this Sporting turn, when you're just walking in your socks. So he's got his boot back on now, and free kick which Bernardo launches upfield for the away team. They'll be very pleased with how this first half has gone, that's for sure. They're 5 points short of the getting out of the relegation zone into the relegation playoff spot. They've got a game in hand, so if a miraculous win was to occur here, that would mean they're only 2 points away from the relegation playoff spot. But have to remember that in the last 10 games, Sporting have won 7 of those. 1 draw, 2 wins for Tondela though, in fairness, and the last of those coming all the way back November the 3rd, 2019 at home for Tondela. 19 goals scored for Sporting, 6 for Tondela over those 10 matches. There has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight wins for Sporting in this heads-ahead. But at the moment, not looking like a done deal at all in this first half. It's been very tight, and looking at some of the previous results, I mean, it was 3-0 in Tondela in the reverse fixture back in October last year. 3-1 away from home. Last time they played actually away from home was in 2022. Tondela, of course, only promoted back into the top division this season. Sporting get a shot away from the edge of the box. That came from nothing again. It's Bragança just pivoted quickly, swung his left boot at the ball, straight at Bernardo. Not really a clear-cut chance as such, but once again Tondela, when the tries to play out from the back, causing themselves problems. And they've done it again, but this time they've got through the press, and Conceição's touch it on to Mijatovic. He's on the halfway line, plays back into Joanse. Joanse, the young Ecuadorian, slows it down, plays it round the corner to Conceição. Conceição's being absolutely clattered from behind by Vagianidis, and surely that's going to be the first Sporting yellow card of the game. It was a good ball into Conceição, nicely weighted by Joanse. He let it run through his legs to dummy it. It went through Vagianidis' legs as well, and then Vagianidis just threw both palms into the back of Conceição's back, and I think also trod on his ankle. But no, Verissimo's feeling fairly lenient today. There's been 2 yellow cards. There's been 3 or 4 tackles since that felt like they would be bookings if that was the bar for a yellow card that he'd set, but no more bookings as of yet. Cross comes back in from Maranhão, headed away by Quaresma, only as far as João Silva. He moves it to Helder Tavares. They move down the right-hand side. Maranhão has it again. Looks to play a little 1-2 with Ronnie Lopez. He's been pretty anonymous, Ronnie Lopez, in this game so far. And I think Sitthole has just earned his side a free kick there. Maxi Rachel just getting a little bit too close to the South African. Sitthole with Yaya on the back of his shirt. I think Tondela could do with him playing like the other famous Yaya Toure to get them out of the relegation zone, but that's a good cross that came in from the right hand side of Maranhão. It's gone all the way across the 6-yard box. Nobody gambling. Ronnie Lopez nowhere to be seen again, and Sporting just comfortably just guided that all the way out for a throw-in on the far hand side, which they've taken. Ball's hit forward, headed away by Marquez. One in there with the second ball by Morita. Free kick once again to Tondela, and Sporting are being incredibly scrappy here. They get the ball quickly out to the left, Tondela. Mijatovic moves it to the left wing. Conceição plays it back down the line for Mijatovic. He gets the cross in, headed away by De Bast. Brought down nicely by Luis Suarez, but then they give it away again, Sporting. They're not getting the ball out. The quality of the passing is terrible. Quenda nutmegs Manso goes sliding in, cleans him out, and we are going to see another yellow card here. Quenda has been taken down twice and 2 yellow cards. Seems like the teenager's being protected well by Verissimo, not so much the rest of the players on the pitch, but that was a lovely touch by Quenda. Manso came flying in, nutmegged by the teenager and just clattered into the left winger. So another yellow card is shown. That's his 6th yellow card of the season for Thiago Manso in the league. Morita plays back to Quaresma, out to the right-hand side to Vagianidis. Very lucky not to be booked himself a moment or two again. He's now fouled Mujautovic once more, and still we're not working on a totting up here. There's no accumulation being considered by Verissimo. He's judging each foul on an individual basis, I get the feeling. Rui Bourges on the sideline, not looking particularly thrilled. And there's 1 minute plus injury time left at the end of this first half. And it's not been the most entertaining game of the Portuguese season, it has to be said. Tondela are doing their job well. Sporting need to bring more to the second half if they are going to find themselves in second place again by the end of the evening. A long ball forward from Tondela. Roy Silva comes to the edge of his box, claims it, darts back across the middle before dropping the ball down to Quaresma. Quaresma's got a bit of space to move forwards now. Tondela again immediately just retreat. High line, but a pretty compact shape. Not much space between the 3 lines. Down the outside again to Vagianidis, but he forgets to take the ball with him, and Marquez lofts it up to the left-hand side, where asking a bit too much there of Conceição. Conceição loses out, gets the ball now to Catamo. Catamo loses out. That's good defending again by Conceição, just getting back into position. And Mujautovic tries to move down the left-hand side. Good ball in field to Sithole. Sithole into Ronnie Lopez. Lopez touches it back, and now Tondela has space to come down the right-hand side. Quickly out to their main man, Maranhão. Maranhão's got Manso overlapping him, gives it to the right back. He's barged into the back by Maxi Araujo. Gets the ball back again. It was surely a foul. The referee said no. He then crosses, headed away by Quaresma. Everyone seemed to stop, assuming the foul was going to be given on Manso from Maxi Araujo, but nothing came of it. And this time, Vagianidis is going to be shown a yellow card. He's gone absolutely flying in once more. I think it's Conceição who's taken the full force of that. Played down the line by Catamo. Vagianidis kept... Right. Oh no, it's Quaresma in fact. Sorry, it's Quaresma storming down the touchline as if he is the right back. First thing he might have done wrong in the entire game. Bumped into Marquez, and he's been shown a yellow card straight away. And Quaresma cannot believe he's been booked for that. And actually, seeing it again on the monitor, I do have some sympathy for the young central defender. So we've had the 1 minute of injury time. That's Quaresma's 2nd yellow card of the season. And the referee blows the half-time whistle. Sporting need to go and have a long, hard look at themselves at half-time. They've not been at it at all. Tondela will be very pleased with their first half performance. They've frustrated the home team. They've kept their shape pretty tight, and bar 1 or 2 speculative efforts, the Bernardo's been called into action to save. He's not been overly busy. Tondela, on the other side of the same coin, haven't tested Roy Silva at all, but they won't be too worried about that. The longer they keep the game tight, you absolutely never know what might happen. Quaresma still explaining his case to Verissimo, the referee. Quite a long chat taking place here, and I think Verissimo would actually just like to get into the changing room and get his half-time cup of tea, and that's what we're going to do here. We'll be back with the second half action in about 15 minutes or so. Hopefully you would like to join us in the hope that this second half welcome back to the Estadio Jose Alvalade, where it is Sporting 0, Tondela 0 at half-time. Not much to really report back on in the first two halves. It was pretty stale. 62% of the ball was Sporting's, but that only led to 6 shots. Only one big chance created, and a measly XG of 0.46. Well, Tondela were even less dangerous in front of goal than Sporting. 0.04 XG generated from their one shot. But they will have come here looking to try and keep it as tight as possible for as long as possible. And they've got to half-time without conceding another goal. To go on top of the 50 they've already conceded in this Portuguese league season. Two teams have just started to reappear on the pitch for the second half. And it has to be said that Rui Borges' team have played with their possession-based style, 61.7% possession, their average this season, but they've really not done a great deal with it whatsoever. And as we said, Tondela have got the second worst defensive record in the top flight, shipped 50 goals in 30 matches, and Sporting just haven't asked enough questions as of yet. Tondela winless in their last 7 games. Run that's including the brutal 5-0 thrashing by Vitória Guimarães a few weeks ago, and Sporting have been lethal at home. They've only conceded 1 goal in 4. They've scored at least 1 goal, in their last 14 matches. Well, 1 goal here might well be enough, but they'll want to get back as soon into the second half as possible. 3 points here today moves them back into second place above Benfica. And as I said in the first half, they've won the last 6 against today's opponents. And in fact, over the previous 17 meetings overall, Sporting have won 12 to Tondela's 2, outscoring them 36 to 12. And Tondela have never won here at the Alvalade. 8 attempts, no victories whatsoever. So, on paper still, it is an absolute mismatch. Tondela down in 17th place with just 21 points, desperately fighting relegation. 5 points away from the relegation spots, the relegation playoff spot, I should say. And Sporting themselves, they're hunting that piece of legacy. They're trying to secure back-to-back Primeira League titles for the first time in 70 years. It's looking like it's going to be Porto's title unless something drastic does happen in the final few rounds of league fixtures. Waiting to see whether or when Francisco Trincao comes onto the pitch. He has been pretty creative for them this season. Created 14 big chances for Sporting, and they've led to 11 assists. So if Trincao's playing you in, there's a very good chance they're going to score. We've not seen enough of that from the players on the pitch so far for Sporting. Doesn't look like any changes have been made at half-time. And we're back underway in the second period. Sporting now kicking from left to right here at the Alvalade in their traditional home colours of green and white hooped shirts, white shorts, white socks. Tondela immediately dropping back into their defensive shape. Dark coloured kits, matching shirts, shorts and socks today. Just as once this move from Sporting down the left breaks down, I will bring you the two teams. Morita drops it back to Debas. Debas moves it quickly over to Quaresma. Quaresma plays it down the right-hand side. Nice little ball there from Katama. But Katama loses out, and here comes Mujatovic down the left. Well tracked back by Bagianadis, and he gives it to Quaresma. Quaresma not the best pass back to Roy Silva, who manages to get it out to the right back. Bagianadis again, and cleared forward, but well worked by Marquez. Wins the physical battle with Luis Suarez there, and there's now a little bit of space here for Ronnie Lopez for the first time to get towards goal. Drags his shot just wide of Rui Silva's goal. So let's go through the Sporting team. Playing in a 4-2-3-1 shape, Roy Silva in goal, back four of Vagianidis, Quaresma, De Bast and Maxi Arajo, the left back. The holding two in midfield are Marita and the captain Braganza. Three floating behind Luis Suarez, the striker. Here comes Quenda, just unable to bring the ball down properly as he advanced to the penalty area. The midfield three floating behind the striker Luis Suarez. Well, we've got Pedro Gonçalves, he's in the free role. Quenda to the left and Jenny Catamo to the right. Tondela are lining up in a 4-3-3. Bernardo in goal. Thiago Manso, João Silva, Marquez and Conceição are the back four. Holding midfield is the South African Sit Hole, and he's got Joanse to his left and Helder Tavares, the captain, to his right. On the right wing is Maranhão, on the left is Mujatovic, and through the middle is Ronnie Lopez, the former Manchester City and Sevilla player. He's not really got involved too much in this game so far. Here come Sporting, but that ball's going to run all the way through to Bernardo. The tall Brazilian gets back to his feet, looks for options to his left and doesn't get what he wants immediately, so drops the ball down, then plays it to the left of Marquez. Marquez brings it forward a few yards, left-footed, plays long, looking down the left foot. Mujatovic, one in the air, comfortable enough by Vagianidis. Ball goes back inside to De Bast. Good little ball to Quenda, who's come quite central. Now Gonçalves can come forward. He moves it out to the right-hand side, and Catamo gets into the area, but Conceição does really well again. Wins that duel for at least the 6th or 7th time in this game, and now brings the ball out of pace as well. Right-footed, switches it over towards Maranhão. That's good cover by Maxi Arajo. Just gets his head on the ball, gives it to De Bast. To Quaresma to Marita. Marita goes wide right now to Vagianidis, who's coming forward again, headed away by Marquez as the cross came in. Headed down from Ronnie Lopez, sloppy again from Lopez. Needs some work in the midfield from Quance, and now Sithole gets it under, tried to turn away, and the ball breaks. Oh, that just comes off the heels of Maranhão, who's on the left-hand side now, but he's got the ball, he's drifting inside with it, plays it infield nicely, that's a good take. Oh, and that's a poor layoff in the end by Thiago Manso, who was all the way forward from right back. Tried to link up, but just played the ball behind, and in the end it's broken down, gone out for a goal kick to Sporting. Thiago Manso getting very high up into a centre forward position there from right back, and the cynic would suggest that he's been more effective in there than Ronnie Lopez so far. He's only one goal behind his centre forward this season too. Ronnie Lopez has scored 2 league goals this season. Thiago Manso just the one. Quenda has it to the left of the area. Tondela defend that well, bring it out with Mujatovic, out to the left and Conceição. He rolls it back to Marquez, but a space for the central defender before Sporting move up and try to put him under a bit of pressure. He's gone for a very ambitious ball from left to right. One in the air by Quenda, he's headed it down. Bent back in by Braganza. Doesn't work out, and now Tondela tried to come forward. That's a foul in the back of Mujatovic by Vagianidis, who amazingly didn't pick up a yellow card in the first half, and that must be his 10th foul of the game so far, most of which have been dished out to the winger Mujatovic. He's back up on his feet again, and Conceição's moving down the left-hand side for Tondela. I have to say, Tondela could nick something out of this game. Sporting have not been at it at all today. Tondela have been pretty disciplined, pretty good in their shape, and they've had a couple of forays forward, and you get the feeling that Sporting might just switch off at the back at some point. Vagianidis plays it central. Quaresma across to De Bast. De Bast, nice little ball in now to Marita. Marita has space to drift out to the left-hand side and keeps running forward the ball at his feet. Takes a couple of touches, gets past Maranhão. Still got the ball, hasn't played it off yet. It's got Quenda to his left, does touch it out to the left, and Quenda. Quenda goes back to De Bast. De Bast, good ball into Braganza. Pedro Gonçalves gets it quite deep now. He's not really been massively influential in the game either so far. Kitama, who did see a lot of ball in the first half, plays it back. Vagianidis into Gonçalves. Quicker ball through, little touch round the corner. Good hit. This is better from Sporting. They're moving the ball with a bit of pace. Now Quenda's got it on the edge of the box. He thinks about playing it infield. Does find Pedro Gonçalves. That's good work again from Sitholz. Sitholz then gone crashing into the back of a Sporting player. The referee says get up. And forward come Tondela, but they've given it away on the counter-attack. Ball goes straight back to Morita, who dropped back in from midfield. He now comes forward. Plays it out to the right. Katamo's got loads of space to come towards the penalty area. He's on his left foot, comes inside one. Good cover again by Joanse. The midfield three have worked really hard in there for the away team, but they've just given the ball a get away again there. But good work by Manso to flick it on and keep possession. Direct ball forward, trying to get Manso on the run again, but it goes massively in behind him. He was never going to get near that one. Sporting move forward. Sporting were waiting to see if a VAR was going to give them a penalty, and Versimo, the referee, has just pointed to his ear and waved his hands across each other to demonstrate no penalty, and no real surprise there. Luis Suarez picks it up, looks for the 1-2, tries to bundle his way through. Suarez, goalkeeper, comes out bravely, does well. Has he just taken a knock as he came sliding out? Luis Suarez didn't do anything wrong. If anything, it might be his own defending that caught him as he came bundling through. Just seeing this back again now. I tell you what, Luis Suarez did have half a decent shout there for a penalty, but one of those ones where if the referee said no already, I don't think there was enough in it to be overturned. Equally, if it had gone the other way, can't say that VAR would have overturned it and said no penalty. So one of those ones. Sporting have the ball again in the centre circle. Bragança moves it forward. Vagianides has it on the right hand side. Goes inside to the captain, Bragança. Moved out to the left. Mattia Araujo plays a 1-2 with Quenda. Can he get the cross in? He does get it all the way across. Luis Suarez tried to attack it. Good defending by Marquez. Gets the ball away. This is a counter-attack now. Here comes Ronnie Lopez striding through the middle of the park. He's got one to his right. He's given it to Radhau. Oh, and he shoots wildly. Eyes completely lit up for the Brazilian. First time he's really had a sight of goal in this game. Ronnie Lopez did so well coming through the middle. Timed the pass beautifully. One touch from Radhau. Tabas came over to put the block on. Radhau just snatched it and it goes sailing high over Roy Silva's goal. Best break of the game so far for Tondela, but they needed their top goal scorer to be more composed there, and that might be the only chance he gets in this game. Here comes Katamo down the right hand side again for Sporting, touches it off to the Greek, Vagianides plays back to Quaresma gives it back out wide again to the right back. Looks to play nice 1-2 there. Gets the ball across. Everyone attacks. Good clearance away from Tavares, reading it at the far post. Puts it back into midfield where Quaresma starts again. Touches it over to Morita. Morita's got space to choose what he does next. Gives it to Quaresma. He moves it again to Vagianides. So getting some joy down this right-hand side, Sporting. It's been where their best attacks have originated from so far in this game. Nice little ball infield too. Bragança to Quenda. Good defending again by Marquez. Just steps in, clears it away, goes as far as Vagianides. Vagianides comes forward, little ball inside once more. Bragança clips it to the far post, headed well by Manso. Here comes the strike, and that's a good save by Bernardo. It's deflected up off a defender, and the keeper's done really well to react to the deflection and tip it up over the crossbar. Didn't see who got the strike in initially. Headed away by Manso. It fell to Morita, the Japanese player. He struck it, deflected, good save by Bernardo. In comes the corner, headed away. It's going to run out to Manso in the right back area. And in fact, there's a free kick, I think. Or it might just be a stoppage because of head injuries. Yeah, and as the two Tondela players went up to clear the ball, they just crashed into each other and there was a head injury in there. Seeing that Morita strike again, in fact it didn't take a deflection, which makes it, for me, an even better save by Bernardo, because no pace was taken off the ball. It was arrowing towards the top corner. Big Brazilian flies out with his left hand, tips it up and over the bar. Now here comes a double change for Sporting. Trincao is on. I think he's come on for Quenda. And the right back, number 70, Bloper, is on as well. Let's see who's come off for him. We're surprised it's Vagianides because he has played pretty well down that right-hand side and has managed to avoid a booking as well. So no reason. But it is Vagianides who's gone off. So Bloper is on in his place at right back. Kitamo has the ball. Plays it back into midfield and Marita keeps it moving to his captain, Braganza. Braganza tries to pick out Trincao straight in behind. Managed to flick it back, but the goalkeeper, Bernardo, quickly out of the 6-yard box to claim that. And a quick throw forward. That's a great release to Maranhão, who's moving down the right-hand side at pace. Sporting doing well to keep up with him. Maranhão then goes to ground. I think he just fell over his own feet, and that runs out for a goal kick. I think Tondela might have made a change in amongst them as well, because I've seen Vucevic on my monitor in the dugout, and yeah, there has been a change. Is that Van der Heijden? Yeah, Van der Heijden has come on for Tondela. Little reverse ball. Bloper gets a chance to pull it across goal, does pull it across, but nobody gambling on that at all. Probably a little bit high for it as well, in fairness. And just runs out for a throw-in on the far-hand side. So Van der Heijden on for Mijautovic on the left-hand side for Tondela. Bloper on at right back and Francisco Trincao on the left-hand side for Sporting. 6 league goals, 11 assists for Francisco Trincao this season. Long ball forward, one in the air by Quaresma, touches it down, gets it back again from Cartamos, bouncing around in midfield a bit. Juanse trying to get in there, goes back to the goalkeeper, Roy Silva. He moves it out quickly to the left and Maxi Araujo just comes back inside, rolls it infield to De Bast. We saw him arrow a few great balls from back to front in the first 10-15 minutes or so of this game. He hasn't done that once since. Back out to Maxi Araujo coming forward down the left hand side, gives it to Trincao. Trincao drifts infield, plays it off to Marita. Marita looking for options forward. Doesn't have any, so touches it back again to De Bast. De Bast to Trincao. Trincao plays out wide and now to Maxi Araujo. Maxi Araujo, little ball to Trincao. Gets it back again. De Bast from distance. Now he clips one into the box. That's a good run across. It's got to be a goal. Oh my word, he's put it up and over the bar. How has Jenny Kitamo missed that from 2 yards out? It was the best move of the game by Sporting. Beautifully created, headed back across goal. Kitamo was underneath the crossbar. He just had to not kick it over the bar, and that's exactly what he managed to do. That should have been geometrically impossible to miss from there. How he's managed to get so far underneath it and head it up and kick it up and over, I have no idea. Credit to Luis Suarez, who put his head in his hands and immediately applauded and went to commiserate with Catamo. But that is a horror miss for the right winger. Really should be 1-0 to Sporting. Here comes Trincao down the left-hand side again, drifts in field, plays it into Luis Suarez. He changes his feet quickly, goes back into the box, overhead kick, headed away. Big effort there from Pedro Gonçalves. He's hit the deck pretty hard after performing the acrobatics. It goes out wide right again to Kitamo. Kitamo has Bloper overlap him. Comes in field, gives it back to Quaresma. Quaresma goes to the substitute right back, Bloper. Bloper touches it infield again. Quaresma goes across to De Bast, and Tondela dropping really deep now. All 10 outfield players in the defensive third of the pitch. Bloper patiently gives it to Quaresma. Quaresma across to De Bast. Maxi Araujo's wide on left, but De Bast gives it infield once again to Quaresma. Quaresma's not really got much idea of what he's going to do there, so he gives it to the Belgian once more. Little ball to Marita. Marita rolls it out wide to Trincao. Trincao, little touch inside to Marita again, plays it into the feet of Luis Suarez. That's a lovely ball through. Trincao pulls it back, should have shot himself. Far too unselfish there from the substitute. Great move again from Sporting down that left-hand side. They've had so much success. Well, they've had their most success down the right, and now they've switched it to the left, and they're playing well since Trincao's come on to that side. Far more effective already than Quenda, who he's come on for. 61 minutes gone here, 0-0 still. Sporting 0, Tondela 0. Bloper on the right gets an early cross in. Oh, that's in at the near post. I think that's Luis Suarez. It is Luis Suarez. What a finish that is at the near post. First time he's had a decent ball come into the box. It is the young substitute Bloper who's delivered it. Luis Suarez has got across the near post, got across his man. I think it was Marquez trying to stay with him, and he's flicked it with the outside of his left boot in at the near post. Such pace on the contact. Bernardo beaten all ends up, and the league's top scorer has got his 25th of the season, and he's given Sporting the lead here. It could be an absolutely crucial goal. Nice ball out to the right hand side. Bloper had time to take a touch, whipped that cross in. As I say, the first decent ball in from the wings all day. Luis Suarez timed his run perfectly to get across Marquez, got a good contact with his left foot at the near post, and just guided it in, bounced just in front of Bernardo at that near post and ends up in the back of the net. Really well taken goal by the Colombian. Great ball in from the 18-year-old sub right back. It's only his second appearance for Sporting for Salvador Bloper, and he's got his first assist already of the season. And in fairness, he's come off the bench 4 times. Well, he's been in the squad 4 times in the Champions League as well. Come off the bench for 14 minutes. Only had 39 minutes to date in the league team as well. So, but that's a good sign for Bloper. Although Vagianides played well down the right hand side, Bloper again has also looked more dangerous than the guy he came on for. So Sporting suddenly have a bit more of a spring in their step. Tondela will now just hope that doesn't mean they're going to cave in. Can they show the resilience to stay in this game for a little bit longer? And you do never know. Braganza knocks it to Katama. Down the right side again. There's another really good ball in from Bloper, and Luis Suarez gambled again, but just gambled the wrong way. Bloper has delivered 2 excellent balls in from that right hand side. And Luis Suarez suddenly looks like a striker that is just, if he keeps making those runs in there, he's going to get a few more chances. Bloper has it again, slightly more inverted this time, takes a shot on himself and goes sailing over the crossbar. I don't think the senior players around him were delighted to see him make that choice, but after such a promising start as coming on a sub, you can understand why he thought he might believe that his luck was in. Elder Tavares has hit the deck now as well. I think he's going to be substituted because our referee Versimo was signalling to the sidelines to bring a stretcher on. I think in fairness they need to be thinking about making some changes now, Tondela, anyway, if they are going to shift their game plan into something else. We're seeing the Luis Suarez goal again on my monitor. It's such a composed finish from the striker. That's his 41st goal of the season. No, it's not. It's his 29th goal of the season. Looked at the wrong number there. Been in the matchday squad 41 times. 29th goal of the season. 24 in the league, 25 in the league now. So that's his 30th goal. We're going to get there in the end, folks. 30th goal of the season. 25 in the league, 5 in the Champions League. 25 plus 5 equals 30. 5 of which have been penalties, and I'm pretty confident in that statistic as well. But came in from Almeria for about 20 million euros back in 2025, and he has scored at a fairly good pace for Sporting, replacing Victor Gyökeres, of course. Hodge is on now for Tondela. He's come on for Helder Tavares, and Aiko is on as well. He's come on down that right hand side from Moran. So a couple of changes made by Gonzalo Feo. Sporting looking comfortable on the ball as they come through. Gonçalves, nice little ball out to the left, goes out to Maxiaraka. Maxiaraka drifts infield on his left foot. Hodge starts to snap around, trying to get into the ball, into the game straight away. Goes back to Braganza into De Bast. Moves it with a bit more pace in through the thirds there, but Katama gives it away. Away come Tondela, but good jump by Quaresma to head that out for a throw in, just stop the counter-attack getting forward. Rui Borges looks a little bit more relaxed on the sideline now. Never really looks like they were struggling, Sporting, but they were struggling to create. They had plenty of ball, but they weren't doing anything with it. But the two substitutes he's made have certainly changed that, with Bloper getting in behind down the right quite happily, and Trincao doing more on the left-hand side than Quenda was able to do whilst he was on the pitch. So always good for the coach to see his subs have an immediate effect. Feo, 36-year-old head coach, will be hoping that the same happens for him, but let's be honest, I think he's going to be waiting another game to get his first victory of the season for Tondela. They are running out of games to get out of the relegation places. A win today would have moved them to within 2 in the relegation playoff spot, but it's going to take something extraordinary for them to get back in and win this from here. Trincao drifting in field, plays it out to Morita. Morita gets a curling shot, goes up and over the crossbar. In fact, it was Pedro Gonçalves who had drifted out to the left, got the ball down, tried to step in field and curl it top corner. He's got 13 league goals himself this season, Pedro Gonçalves. He's not really been... He's been on the periphery of this game, I think, rather than being a main act. Morita just fouls Conceição, the left back, so free kick to Tondela, just outside their penalty area. Touch it back to Bernardo, and the tall Brazilian goalkeeper thinks about playing short, does play short, gives it infield to Hodge. Hodge tries to move it through the thirds, plays it forward to Van der Heide. Van der Heide gives it away. And Sporting start again with Bloper. Bloper, nice little ball into Morita. Morita's been so busy in the midfield today. Absolutely everywhere, the Japanese international. Out to the right-hand side again, and Kitamo. Kitamo moves forward, left-footed. He's got Bloper overlapping him. Gives it to Morita. Now the young right-back gets it again. Bloper back to Morita. Morita looks for movement. Opts to give it back to the sub once more. And they're just standing about 10 yards away from each other, passing the ball back and forth. Now Morita gives it to Kitamo, sharing the ball around a little bit more. Bragança keeps it going, and out to Trincao. Trincao goes back to Maxi Lopez. Lopez turns in field, gives it to Quaresma. Quaresma out to the right-hand side again. Kitamo, Bloper. Bloper being stood up by Conceição, gives it back to Jenny Kitamo, who will feel a lot better after that horror miss now that the team have actually scored. Quaresma out to the right-hand side. Bloper drifts in field, plays it across to Quaresma, gives it to the captain, Bragança, and comfortable possession here for Sporting. Tondela not really making them work too hard to keep the ball. Bragança thinks about playing in field, does a nice little ball. It's round the corner. Here comes a little bit more pace on the move from Sporting, and just got caught under Pedro Gonçalves' feet, and away come Tondela. Ronnie Lopez tries to chip it out to the right-hand side for Aiko, but that's going to run all the way through to the goalkeeper, Roy Silva. Sporting have it on the left again. On the right, sorry, Trincao. Seems to be playing more central now, and I think Pedro Gonçalves might have moved out to play more as a left-sided midfielder. Bloper out to the wide right, where Kitamo, ever busy, gets the ball, plays inside to Trincao, who's playing as in the 10 now. Touches it infield to Gonçalves. Out by Morita to the right back, who just takes a touch to come inside. Cuts off his crossing angle. That's an intelligent little ball into Pedro Gonçalves. He chips it in towards the on-rushing Bragança, but cleared away by Tondela. Nice move from Sporting, didn't come to anything. Hodge in the middle of the park, loses out. Works hard to try and win it back. Unable to do so. Good feet from Luis Suarez, keeps possession of the ball, plays it back to Morita. Morita at walking pace. 71 minutes gone here, Sporting 1, Tondela 0. Kitamo keeps it with Bloper. Bloper into Morita. Morita just keeps the ball sensibly. Little ball in again to Trincao. 1-2, Pedro Gonçalves. Breaks down. Ako brings it forward. Is he fouled by Bloper? No, the referee says he's got the ball. Ako's hit the deck pretty hard. Still nothing given at all. Ako not back up on his feet, and they're playing on Sporting. Kartama has it on the right, comes in on that left foot of his. Trinkaus near, but now runs away from him, so he goes back to Bloper. Bloper thinks about what he's going to do. It's very slow now for Sporting. They're not moving the ball with any real pace at all. De Bast out to Maxi Arajo, the Uruguayan. He goes out to the left where Braganza is now loitering. Across to Bloper once again. Tondela just dropping off now. They're not making any effort to win the ball until it gets near their penalty area. Maybe they're thinking about keeping the score to just 1, but they've got to do something more. They've got to show a bit more urgency. Sporting trying to play it round the corner. Luis Suarez trying to get the inside run from Katamo, but didn't quite connect with the pass correctly. It's gone through to Bernardo. Bernardo gives it to João Silva. João Silva to Manso, who's been a lot more quiet in the last 15-20 minutes. Ball goes in. Good tackle by Marquez. Gets the ball out to Conceição. Chance for Tondela to come forward here. Touched out to Sithole. Sithole seems to be playing to the left of the midfield now, with Hodge going central. Hodge tries to play it through the lines, but gives that away. And forward come Sporting. Hodge the Irishman hasn't really got going since coming on as sub. Good ball forward to Ako here for Tondela. He takes a little touch into his right foot. Is he going to try and switch it forward? No, takes his time. Gives it back to Sithole. Sithole moves it to the right where Manso comes forward. He plays it out to Van der Heide. Van der Heide gives it back to Hodge. Hodge infield to Sithole. Across to Juanse. Juanse out to the left now. Conceição's got some space. He comes forward as Conceição. Being slowed down by Bloper. Little ball infield. Good take by Hodge, looking to move around, trying to find some space to play. Gives it to Sithole, gets it back again, Hodge. Now he's getting into the game. That's a good little ball. Oh, is that a foul? Could that be a penalty? No, it's just outside the area. Conceição was clipped by Quaresma. Quaresma's on a yellow card. He needs to be very careful indeed. It's a nice ball by Hodge, nice little bit of pace on it. Conceição up from left back, just got across Quaresma, who clipped him from behind, right near the line of the penalty area. It was a free kick, not a penalty. But given that it was a little clip from behind, I think Quaresma has to be much more careful, given that he's on a yellow card already. Pedro Gonçalves has been withdrawn by Rui Borges. Don't know who's come on for him yet. As soon as I know that, I will let you know. I think there's some changes. Yeah, there's going to be 3 changes, I think, for Tondela as well. So once they're made, we'll update you with who has come on to the field of play. Sithole is one of the ones going off. It's a free kick for Tondela, though, which Ako is lining up. It's to the left of the area. He steps up. He's gone for goal. It's gone high over like a rugby conversion. And that is a goal kick. So Ronnie Lopez is off. Alves Santana is on. Sithole is off. Sequeira is on. And for Sporting, Pedro Gonçalves is off. And who's come on for him is Luis Guilherme, who was on loan from... Oh, he came in permanently from West Ham. I think it was only a loan. He's in permanently for West Ham. The 20-year-old Brazilian Luis Guilherme is on. He'll be playing down the left, I think, now. Tondela tried to go forward again through the midfield. That's a foul in the back once more by the Sporting player. And Ako's having a pretty rough time since he came onto the field of play. He's got another free kick, which he'll take quickly. Conceição gives it to Ako once again. The Frenchman drifts forward. Only 1 assist in his 15 appearances so far, the 25-year-old. So goals are difficult to come by for Tondela this season. But when I look at the players on the pitch at the moment, they've only got 3 goals, 4 goals between them, the players on the pitch this season. And fairness, only 1, 2, 3 assists from the players are on the pitch for Tondela right now. So if we're taking that as a benchmark, I can't see them getting back into this game. Quaresma goes back to Roy Silva. Silva touches it into midfield when Marita gives it back to the central defender. Out to Bloper. Bloper plays forward. Marquez just going shoulder to shoulder with Luis Suarez, but Luis Suarez has come away with the ball. He's into the penalty area, steps over twice. Good cover at the back in the end by the defender of Tondela. Ball moves into midfield. And Sporting see it all break down. Bloper goes crashing in there. That's a foul on Conceição once again. I think Bloper's gone into the book, so trying to work out who's playing where now for Tondela since those chances. Bloper's picked up his first yellow card of the season. I think Sequeira is now playing through the middle a little bit for Tondela. Alves Santana, another Brazilian, who's dropped into defensive midfield. Given away on the left-hand side. Here comes Sporting. Luis Suarez touches it over. Oh, that's a nice little ball to the left foot of Kartama. It's been turned into his own net by a Tondela defender. It's 2-0 to Sporting. The game is now done and dusted. I think it's João Silva who's turned that one in. That shot was going wide from Jenny Katamo, no doubt about that. João Silva has then helped it into the net. 2-0 to Sporting. Game is absolutely done and dusted. João Silva's back on his feet, looking pretty downhearted that he's turned that one into his own goal. There's going to be a couple more Sporting changes being made now. Roy Bourges kind of knows this one is done. He probably thought that after the first one went in. We've got 11 minutes plus injury time. The ball was fed to Kartamo. His shot didn't have any great power on it or accuracy. I think it might have been going, yeah, it was definitely going wide. And João Silva sliding in, trying to do what he could to stop it. Ended up just toe poking it into the back of the net. Nobody actually around him. Not even really sure what João Silva was doing. But yeah, ball's in the back of the net. It's 2-0 to Sporting. They're going to be moving into second place at the end of this game. They'll just move back up ahead of Benfica. And that will mean with 5 games to go, Sporting will have 75 points. Porto will have 82. Benfica will also have 75. Still unbeaten in the league, don't forget, Benfica. And they beat Sporting quite recently. Still very tight for who's going to finish second and take the second Champions League position. The winning team will go straight into the main draw, I believe, and the second place team will have to go through the qualifiers. Here comes Sporting once again. Luis Suarez striding forward, touches it to the left, and Trincao lays it back, strike blocked. Was that blocked with the hands or blocked with the knees? I think it was with the knees by the Tondela player. Kartama comes inside once again, pinched in midfield by Alves Santana, but Sporting just drop off again and just rebuild, start everything all over again. Trincao out to the right. Loper. Back in field to the captain, Bragança. Bragança moves the ball forward into Marita. Marita plays to Kartamo. Kartamo has a bit of time to be able to turn, faces things up, but gives it back into midfield, gets it to his feet again, goes out to the right back, Bloper high up the field. Bloper comes inside, gives it back to Kartamo. Trincao back to Bragança. Marita out to the wide right. Bloper takes a touch, nice little ball in. Can he get the 1-2? No, Kartamo doesn't give it back to him. Kartamo then turns, goes back to Bragança. Bragança keeps possession, gives it to the Mozambique player, out to Bloper again. The young right back plays it all the way back into Quaresma. Quaresma gets it, he's got the Bast to his left, but he opts to keep it going into midfield, and Marita helps it round the corner to Bloper. Bloper couldn't have imagined he was going to get so much ball when he came onto the field of play. Shows how much they trust this kid at right back. It was his cross that was turned home by Luis Suarez for the opening goal, and he's been very composed since coming on, even though he has gone into the yellow card for a slightly, gone into the book for a slightly clumsy challenge. Ball's back with Roy Silva. The two extra Sporting subs are still waiting to come on. Those changes haven't been made yet. Quaresma has it in the penalty area, plays it out to the right-hand side to Bloper. Tondela make a half-hearted attempt to try and get the ball, but Bloper comes away with it once again. Takes a touch, plays through the midfield, but gives it away. Here comes Conceição down the left-hand side. He crosses it in all the way across the box, touched by Maxi Lopez, and confident defending by Maxi Araujo at the far post. Gives it away as he starts to bring it out, though, and little spell here for Tondela. Thiago Manso plays it to the right, gets it back in field to Hodge. Hodge across to Marquez. Marquez switches it all the way out to the left wing, and Conceição's high up the pitch once again. He dribbles forward the left back. Bloper just holds him up. Conceição comes back on his right foot. Plays it into Juanse. Juanse in field. João Silva high up the pitch. I think he wants to get forward and get himself a goal to make up for his own goal. Cross comes in from Joe Hodge. Well covered by Rui Silva at his near post in the 6-yard box. Collapses onto the floor. Gets it under control. Van der Heide with the cross, the Dutchman substitute on the right-hand side. Roy Silva's now got the ball at his feet in his own 6-yard box, puts it down, gives it to the Bast. The Bast plays it out to Maxi Araujo, gets it back again. The Bast, there's one of those passes from the middle to the right-hand side that we saw in the first half. Nice bit of skill by Catano to bring it down and beat his man and then lay it off to Bloper. Bloper gives it back to the goalkeeper again, Roy Silva. Roy Silva touches it right, and Quaresma moves it right. Bloper takes a touch, plays forward, plays long. One in the air by Marquez. He just heads it down to João Silva. Silva to Manso. Manso back to João Silva, and he steps forward into midfield once again. Keeps going. This is a good run by João Silva. Touches it to the right-hand side. Manso takes a touch. Thinks about crossing. Well cut out by Maxi Araujo. Manso retreats. Goes back into midfield, and Hodge helps it round the corner. Back out to Thiago Manso. He slows it down. Plays infield. Gets the ball back into the midfield. Alves Santana. He plays it to his right, and once again Manso has the ball at his feet, gives it back to the Brazilian Alves Santana. He plays it out to the right hand side again, takes it back again. They're not really going anywhere here, Tondela, but they've also still got the ball, and it's not often they've been able to say that in this second half. João Silva's back in his defensive position, rolls it across to Marquez. Marquez plays it through the line a bit more. Aiko goes to ground once again. No foul once again. Marita in the base of the Sporting midfield. Comes out to the right-hand side now. Catamo looks to take on Conceição. This time gets away from him. Conceição actually catches him. Has the foul been given? Yeah, I think the free kick has been given. Catamo is on the floor. And finally, and they've been there for about 5 minutes, I would say, the Sporting subs are going to be able to come on. Catamo is on the floor. Conceição lost his footing, slipped, and then sort of threw two legs towards the ball and towards Catamo in a last-ditch attempt to try and do something. Nuno Santos is coming on. Bragança has passed the captain's armband over to Quaresma. Catamo's still on the deck. Conceição's got a bit of a smile on his face. He doesn't think that the wing is that badly hurt. So Bragança is off. I think Nuno Santos is one of the players coming on. And also the Georgian midfielder Kotrashvili is coming onto the field of play as well. So Bragança, is he still on? Bit of confusion here. I think they might have changed their mind because Catamo is hobbling off, so maybe they are just going to change what they were doing. It was Catamo whose misdirected shot was turned in by João Silva a little while ago. We're saying on my board here that Bragança has gone off and Kocherashvili is on. And Nuno Santos is on as well, the number 11. So, not entirely sure, but here we go. We're back on play. So Nuno Santos is on for Jenny Katamo, yes. And Kocherashvili has come on into the middle of the park for Bragança. Cal just flagged offside there. Jenny Katamo is still hobbling his way back to the bench. 3 minutes plus injury time left at the end of this game, which will see Sporting, the home team, go back into second place in the division. They'll be happy enough with their evening's work. They haven't set the world alight, has to be said, but they've done enough to get the job done. Ball moves out to the right hand side and Bloper, heavy touch that time, goes flying in, has to be careful, he's on a yellow card. Aiko comes out with the ball, gets it to Conceição, gives it back to Aiko. Chance here for Tondela. Aiko throws himself to the floor. That is one of the worst dives of the season. Versimo just wags his finger at him, says no, then puts his finger to his ear. So VAR are going to have a look at this, but there's no foul there, surely. Kocherashvili just tells him to get up, and now we're back in play as well. I'm amazed he's not been booked for that, I have to say, because that was such a poor dive. Not well disguised at all. And Aiko's spent more time on the floor since coming on than he has on his feet, and his team needs a little bit more than that. He's got to be better than that in that situation. Conceição, nice little reverse ball. Here comes Hodge trying to get through the lines. He plays it into the near post, and that was a great chance for Manso. Captain armband on again. Comes in from right back once more. And he spent almost as much time at centre forward in this game as anybody else for Tondela. Completely unmarked. Hodge did very well to pick him out. Side foot finish at the near post and just lifted it up and over the crossbar. 1 minute plus injury time left at the end of this game, and if the referee's got any sense, he won't prolong the agony here for Tondela much longer. Sporting won't want to spend any more time in this game than they need to either. Aiko with the ball out on the left hand side, comes forward, Bloper just holding him up, goes past him. Aiko gets the cross into the near post. Let's come all the way through again, little touch back, another shot on goal from, the penalty has been given this time. Sequeira got his shot away, but he was clipped from behind as he took the shot. Versimo was in a good place to see it. I think it was Maxi Arajo who might have caught Hugo Felix. So Hugo Felix Sequeira has gone down. Penalty's been given. In fact, no, it was Kocherashvili who's come in a bit clumsily that time. I'll tell you what, look at that again. I'm not convinced. Is it going to stand, I wonder, this penalty? Sporting are protesting their innocence. We've not had a finger to the ear. And no, the penalty is going to be given. And Aiko has been a bundle of everything since he came on in the second half. He's the man with the ball on the spot. He's going to be going up against Roy Silva. No goals yet this season for Aiko. Well, no league goals, I should say. He did have 2 in Eredivisie. He came in from Fortuna Sittard in the January window. So is this going to be his first goal for his new team? Up he steps. No, it's not. Roy Silva's made an amazing save to his right-hand side. I had to say, I didn't think Aiko looked particularly confident And that certainly turned out to be the case, because Roy Silva's dived to his right, got a left fist to it, and that is a really good save by the goalkeeper. Ball was slightly higher than his dive initially suggested, and he's done really well to claw that away. Wasn't the worst penalty I've seen this season, but a very good save from Roy Silva. In comes the corner, and they have scored this time. After all that, Chichero's got the flick on at the near post, and he has scored. Roy Silva, moments after making a wonderful penalty save, has seen the ball flicked in at the near post by Chichero, and Tondela have got a goal back after all. Oh, it's flicked on and it's come off Bloper. It's going to be an own goal for Bloper. Yeah, Chichero didn't get a good enough flick. It's come off the right shoulder of Bloper and gone into the goal. Bloper with a blooper, and it is 2-1 to Sporting. Tondela couldn't, could they? They've got 1.5 minutes plus whatever extra the referee adds on at the end of this. And they've been all right for the last 5 minutes in attack, Tondela. Sporting have just stepped off the level a bit too much. And suddenly the team, faced with relegation, feel like they might be able to escape with a point if they can just get one more decent attack. Conceição has the ball. He's racing forward down the left, as he's been doing all day. Gives it out to Aiko, who missed that penalty moments ago. He's to the left of the penalty area. Comes back in on his right foot. Clips it in. That's a good header away by De Bast. Well brought down on the edge of the box. Goes back to Thiago, to João Silva. João Silva out to the right-hand side. In comes the cross from Van der Heijden, and they've got another corner. Roy Borge is not looking too impressed. He's trying to look cool, calm and collected, but you can tell by the stony look on his face that he is not happy with how this team are closing this game out. Corner kick on the right-hand side. Tondela taking their time to get people forward. Marquez is there. The goalkeeper, Bernardo's now come forward. João Silva's in there as well. Bernardo's a big lad. He's 6'5". Can he get his head on this? In comes the corner. That's another header by Chichero. It's in. They've equalised. Incredible. Tondela have taken it from 2 goals down in injury time. They've missed a penalty, and then they have scored twice in the minutes after missing that penalty. It is 2-2 here at the Alvalade. Incredible stuff. Sporting have absolutely thrown this one away. Chichero twice unmarked from the resulting corners. This time he did get a proper contact on the ball. He's headed it, and Roy Silva could not keep it out. And incredibly, Tondela have come from 2-0 down in injury time, and it looks like they're going to escape with a point. There is virtual silence around the stadium here. That's his first goal of the season, and what a crucial goal it might be. Terrible marking once again by Sporting from that set piece. Completely unmarked. This time he's got a decent header on it, and it's flown past the groping dive of Roy Silva. I was half joking when I said they couldn't, could they? But they only have gone and done it. 2 apiece. Sporting fans in absolute disbelief, and they are going to finish this game in 3rd place after all, and that really should be the closing bell on their title challenge. Now it's all down to them catching Benfica and getting the 2nd Champions League spot. At the moment they're heading for the Europa League next season, and based on how they defended the last few minutes, that's kind of what they deserve, I would say. Roy Borge was looking stony-faced a moment or two ago, and he's gone even more stony than the gilet he is wearing. This is a terrible closing 5 minutes for Sporting. Conceded a penalty, and then they conceded 2 again. Here comes Conceição down the left. They couldn't get a third, could they? In comes the cross, and Roy Silva just about gets there. He launches it forward quickly. Headed away by Marquez. Tondela sensing blood. They are going forward at every opportunity. Now Quaresma's won it. He's bombing forward. This game refuses to finish. Conceição down the left, comes back inside. Good feet from Conceição. Just overruns it this time. And there is the final whistle. Both sets of players are in a mix of hitting the deck in disbelief and hitting the deck in jubilation. Quaresma's taken his captain's armband off. He looks furious. I mean, he was only captain for 10 minutes and the team have conceded twice in that time. So many players around Cicero celebrating with him, and lots of players have gone to see Aiko, which is nice, just to give him some commiserations as well. De Bast cannot believe what he's just seen, and yeah, what a range of emotions we have at the end of this game. Incredible stuff. Sporting went 2-0 ahead. Tondela looked like they were going to go home with their tails very much between their legs. They won a penalty which they missed. They scored twice from corners, and incredibly it has ended here, 2 goals apiece. I hope you have enjoyed this second half, because boy, it has been a thriller. We'll have more live football for you shortly. Thank you for joining us for today's coverage.